All right, today we're going to be talking about when to kill shit with your gun as Rocket Raccoon. Now, Rocket has a bad reputation as kind of like this heal block character because his primary playstyle is basically focused on healing, and he's never going to put out crazy amounts of damage, and a lot of Rockets don't even use his gun. Like, there's this guy in Grandmaster who got to GM basically just heal botting Rocket and using him for the utility, which is honestly a really strong way to play Rocket. And if you just play focused on healing, you're going to go far even with low skill levels. However, if you want to maximize the value out of this character, you're going to need to know the situations when you want to use his gun, and that's what we're going to break down today. I'm going to share with you 5 situations you're going to want to use Rocket's gun, so that way you're aware of it when you're playing your games. And the thing with Rocket is, like, he's not one of these characters like these other healers out there where you're just putting damage and pressure when you can, because you have to make the decision between healing or choosing your gun. And that's why he's never going to have crazy damage, because you're not always going to have the situations when it's the perfect time to use your gun. However, today we're going to teach you how to use Rocket's gun. And man, if you thought Rocket was already great, just heal bot, and he's fucking crazy when you know the moments to actually use his gun properly. So now, as far as his primary fire goes, 2 things to notice before we start this video. It has damage fall off starting at 10 meters. So anything within 10 meters, you will just absolutely shred. 20 meters, it's 40% damage fall off. So then anything after this, you're really not going to do a lot of damage. So you usually don't want to shoot things that far away. But the first time when you're going to want to use Rocket's gun is if someone is low and you need to secure a kill. Like, there will be situations where someone's just at like low HP and basically nobody else on the team is shooting them, but you see them at low HP, go for it. Use your gun, try and just secure that kill for your team. Like, if they have just very little health left and nobody else is shooting them and they're just running away to safety, just go and try to secure that kill for your team. There's nothing wrong with using your gun in those situations when someone's low, just to try to get the final hit. So that way they have to trickle in. That one's a pretty easy one. The second time you're going to want to use your gun, and this one requires a little bit more game sense, it's going to be those situations when no healing is required for your team at all. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the first one is, let's say I'm playing with like a Luna Snow on my team. Luna Snow popped her ult, my whole team is fully healed, and they're not going to really take any damage during the 12 seconds Luna's ult's going. During those situations when you have like a huge team-saving ult going, Invisible Woman, Luna Snow, Cloak and Dagger, when your team's getting a shitload of heals from those ults, you are absolutely free to go ham and do as much pressure as you want with your gun. Another situation like that is going to be like the situations where you have an obvious advantage. Like, if you are like, your team got 3 picks and secured 3 kills, and it's a 6v3 situation and nobody else on your team is going to need any healing, go crazy, guys. Use your gun, try to clean up the rest of them and put some damage out there just to get the full team wipe and make them trickle in. That's another great situation. Another more nuanced kind of like complex situation. There's a lot of little situations where you really need a lot of game sense and judgment, because there's times when, let's say, one of your teammates is getting pressured by the enemy teammate and you want to help them. And you want to help them by healing them and try to heal them. Your healing is great, but sometimes it's not going to be enough to save them in like those high pressure situations. And the better alternative would be to actually just try to eliminate the threat instead of trying to heal and save your teammate. And one example of this is, like, I was playing Captain America the other day with a Rocket, and there was this Winter Soldier. He banged me up pretty good, and I was really close to dying, but I had my shield at full shield strength. So I was holding up my shield, and I was keeping it in front of the Winter Soldier, so he was shooting the shield and he couldn't kill me. But the Rocket, who was right next to me, and he was like this close, like Winter Soldier was literally standing here, I was like right here with my shield up. He was just healing me while Winter Soldier was destroying my shield and eventually killed me because the healing wasn't enough to undo the damage Winter Soldier was doing. However, what I was screaming in my head was, Rocket, shoot the damn Winter Soldier, because he was close enough in range. I was there, I had my shield, I wasn't gonna die immediately. He could have literally just did this, deleted the Winter Soldier, and then he could have healed me instead of healing me, and then I ended up dying anyways when he could have just got that free pick on the Winter Soldier. Don't think there's not situations you can use your gun. If anybody gets really close to you and they're not focusing you or going for you, those are great situations to use your gun, because it really, really melts. And if you're close range, you don't really have to worry about the slow projectile speed, because it's really hard to track with this, as I'll talk a little bit later in this video. Now, my favorite way to use this gun that I don't see anybody doing is actually using it as an easy way to shred dive tanks. Venom, Hulk, even Thor. Like, they're really not going to expect you to ever do this, but a lot of times, let's say there's a Venom or there's like a Hulk and they're diving you. And a lot of times, like, if they're diving you and you're the one being pursued, you should try to escape and make some distance. But if they're diving your Luna, which 9 times out of 10, if they have a choice between you and Luna and you're playing pretty close to your Luna, they're going to go for the Luna because she has way less mobility than you. So now what most rockets do is if like a big ass tank is diving them, they're gonna just start healing the Luna. If the Luna's still taking a lot of pressure, and really nothing's gonna happen, and it's just your healing is gonna be zoned out like for like the whole game. But what you should be doing when your support gets dived is actually you can peel for them really good with rocket. So he has 45 ammo in his clip, and his total clip actually does 720 damage. So this is a Venom with 800 HP. Let me show you what body shots do with the whole clip. Look at how quick we melt this guy. Now, let me show you what headshots do. And if you're in close range, you can land a shitload of headshots. Let's look how fast we deleted 800 point character who's going for my Luna at close range. That's crazy, guys. We have 18 bullets still left, okay? 18, and this is without our damage boost. This is just landing all headshots. Now, granted, in a perfect world and in a real life gameplay situation, people are moving around, you're probably not gonna land all headshots, but when you're really close and they're focusing someone else, you can just get up close and literally melt Thors, Hulks, Venoms, so damn easy. And I'm gonna try and like recreate this. I'm gonna move around just so my aim's a little bit not accurate. I'm getting a few headshots in, I'm moving around, and as you can see, we still get him down in a reasonable amount of time. And a lot of times these tanks are not going to expect it, and the fact that you're just pumping so much damage at him close range, it's going to make him pull out, and it's going to take the pressure off your support super easy. So yes, you should be using your gun to fuel for your other support if they're getting dived, especially against these fat dive tanks. Like Rocket is so good at dealing with these guys, and if they turn their attention on you, you just get out. You dash. You do super dash against the wall. You have so many ways to just escape bad situations. You can just crawl on the wall and just wall crawl the hell out of there. Once you get good at this mechanic, you can escape like almost any situation super easily. And now the last and the final time you want to be using Rocket's gun is to kill the enemy utility. Onks, Loki clones, Penny spider mines, not necessarily Punisher turrets, but you could snipe up Punisher turrets. But Loki clones, spider mines, Namor squids, anything stationary on the map that doesn't move, you can actually deal with that with ease. A lot of times I'll be healing my teammates. I'll see a Moon Knight throw an Onk behind him, and I just like take a pause from healing, delete the Onk, delete the Onk, delete the Onk. Oh, Loki clone, delete the Loki clone. And the reason why you should is because you have so much ammo, and these are stationary targets, so you can really just get max value out of your gun and just delete this utility off the map so easy as Rocket, and then go back to healing. So basically, when I'm playing Rocket, yes, I'm focusing on healing, but I'm also using my gun during these situations to really help fuel for my team, delete enemy utility, secure final kills, and also as another last ditch, kind of a little bonus tip here, you can use this as a self-defense mechanism too. Like if you're getting dived by like a really good diver, like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want to like just pull some hoodoo, like wall crawl out there, maybe do the wall crawl tech to get double distance to get out of there, or just use 2 dashes to get out of there. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want to just escape and reposition. But there's gonna be certain situations where sometimes you'll be against like a really good diver who's still really good at sticking on you. If you have like no other choice, you can literally just like turn a corner, make it think like you're running, and then as soon as they turn the corner, just try to melt them. You can use it as like a self-defense mechanism in that mode. But in those situations, like a Psylocke or Black Panther chasing you, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna just want to like pull back and create space instead of trying to go for the kill, because they can be hard to hit sometimes. But if you have absolutely no choice, that's another situation you can use your gun. So now let's go ahead and hop into the practice range here, and I'll show you guys some tips to use your gun. All right, so remember we already said that his gun is most effective within 10 meters. Within 20 meters, it's still pretty solid. After 20 meters, the damage fall off is quite a bit, so you're really not going to do that much damage. So when it comes to using your gun, ideally, you want to use it when you're in close range. And a lot of rockets are kind of afraid to play super close to people, but you have a lot of utility. Like if things get hot, you can literally dash, wall crawl, and get out of there. Like as I've played more Rocket, I've been a lot more bold on Rocket. I used to just play in the back line and just spam heals and just play from really safe distance a lot of the time. But now I'm a pretty damn ballsy Rocket, and especially if there's like a lot of divers on the enemy team. An actual counterplay to that is playing up close to your tanks and not being an easy target to dive. Like you can already get away from divers pretty easy, but if there's like 3 of them, they're probably going to get you. You can play super close with your tank and also just help shred people in the front line as Rocket, which is amazing. So the things you need to know with Rocket is like when you're taking his shots, he has a projectile delay. So as in like, let's say if I'm aiming at Invisible Woman, like as you can see, I'm missing a lot of shots, and this is at really close range. If I'm trying to go for one further away, like you can just see, like if I have my cursor at her, I'm missing literally like every single shot, because it's a very slow projectile speed. So you have to be leading your shots in front of the target to actually hit them. And it's even hard in this practice mode with these characters kind of just going randomly. But you kind of want to have your cursor leading people. And like, I don't recommend taking these horizontal shots. Like there's a huge skill ceiling from even me. Like I'm really good on Rocket, but I I'm still not that good at hitting these kinds of shots. And a lot of times, you're going to waste a lot of time. Like, unless it's someone who's really low, you're really trying to secure that kill, yes, go for it. But that should not be your priority ever. Like, instead of wasting time trying to go for these shots, I would recommend just focus on healing in your team, unless one of the top 5 things I mentioned earlier applies in the situation. But these are going to be tricky shots to land. So come into practice mode if you really want to get good at this mechanic, and just really focus on leading your target. Actually, we're doing pretty good there. We're doing pretty good. All right, no, we didn't close it out. So you're gonna have to lead your target. So that makes it really, really tricky. However, if you see someone ever traveling in a linear projection from you, as in they're running straight forward or straight backward from where you're at, or if you can maneuver your character into where you're actually just following them straight forward or straight backward, you should 100% always take the shot, because then your projectile speed delay does not matter. Why is she doing that? Oh my god, it's set to horizontal sense. But yes, if they're taking damage like that and they're in a linear trajectory to you, always take the shot. Even if they're far away, those are shots you're just not going to miss because of the projectile delay. But this is usually not going to happen. Most people like to jump around, especially at high level. People are going to jumping around, zigzagging, going left and right, trying to be hard to hit. But if you do manage, especially in like low ELO, like bronze, silver, gold, you can get away with doing this all the time. People just run in a straight line and you can just melt everybody. And that's going to be it, guys. These are my tips for Rocket's gun, when to kill shit. If you found value in this video, drop a like, help your boy out. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content. And have an amazing day. I will see you on the next one. Do not forget to smile.